You say, "I can handle more than you think." She goes quiet for half a second, looks amused, then answers carefully, "I meant the workload." The sentence was innocent until her mind supplied another. She is not confessing. She is trying to put it back where it was. Here are 8 signs she is having dirty thoughts about you and trying to act normal. 1. She answers the second meaning before the innocent one. You are assembling something and say, "It is bigger than I expected." She replies, "I was not going to say anything," then immediately focuses on the box. Maybe she just enjoys an easy joke. That is the clean interpretation. But notice the order. Her reaction arrived before you made the line suggestive. You did not wink, pause, or invite the double meaning. Her mind found it on its own, and her mouth responded to the private version first. The hidden motive appears in the correction. She suddenly becomes useful, reads the instructions, names the object, asks a practical question. She is not bored. She is rebuilding innocence at high speed. You made 1 statement. She heard the after dark edition. 2. Her vocabulary becomes suspiciously precise. When you ask why she stopped in the middle of a sentence, she explains that she was choosing the least misinterpretable word. That sounds like ordinary caution. Some people simply speak carefully. The timing makes it different. 5 minutes ago, she was relaxed. Then the conversation picked up a private edge, and now every verb sounds as if it has been cleared by legal. She chooses the safest instruction instead of the first phrase that came to mind. She replaces a natural invitation with a clinical one. She edits a harmless sentence before it can reveal what else she is hearing in it. The hidden motive is not perfect communication. It is containment. Once her imagination becomes active, normal language starts feeling booby-trapped. When every word suddenly needs supervision, the unsupervised thought is usually more interesting. The first 2 signs happen inside language. The next one happens when language fails her completely. 3. A normal question produces a delayed answer. You ask whether she wants the door open or closed. There is a beat. Not long enough to look dramatic, but long enough that she has to return from somewhere before choosing closed. You could call it indecision. On its own it is, but the clue is context. The delay appears only after the 2 of you have been trading charged remarks, or after the room suddenly becomes private. Ask her an equally simple question 10 minutes later, and the answer is immediate. Her hidden motive is to erase the first response and give you the socially usable one. The pause is not empty. It is the time required to change channels. 4. She volunteers a denial nobody requested. You mention that the couch is more comfortable. She says, "I am not getting on a couch with you," while smiling, and you had not invited her. The innocent reading is a boundary, respected as one. But psychologically, the unnecessary denial is still revealing because she had to construct the scene before she could reject it. The possibility entered her mind, acquired enough detail to feel risky, and came out disguised as prevention. The timing matters most when she does not leave. She changes the wording, keeps the interaction warm, and continues standing there with the possibility now sitting between you. Her motive may be to regain control without admitting she momentarily pictured exactly what she denied. Sometimes, that is not happening means the movie already started in her head. The first 4 are accidents of containment. From here, the pattern grows more deliberate. She starts revisiting the tension she was supposedly trying to remove. 5. She returns to one harmless phrase later. Earlier you said, "You would not last 5 minutes," about a brutally difficult workout. An hour later she says, "I still think I would last longer than you expect." She can defend it as continuity. You were discussing exercise, but she passed several cleaner ways to make the same point. She chose the sentence carrying the private charge and brought it back after enough time had passed to make the return look accidental. The hidden motive is controlled re-entry. She wants to feel that tension again without having to create an openly sexual conversation. People forget disposable wording. They revisit the line that kept playing after the subject changed. 6. She laughs after the moment instead of during it. You hand her something. Your fingers do not linger. Nothing theatrical happens. She takes it, thanks you, turns away, and then laughs quietly at a completely normal follow-up. You may think the laugh belongs to your last sentence. The timing says otherwise. The emotional reaction was delayed until she no longer had to let you watch it arrive. That often happens when the visible event is ordinary, but the private association is not. Her motive is simple. Keep the first moment clean. Release the extra energy after she has moved out of direct focus. The laugh is attached to the thought she managed not to show you. The first 6 can still be explained away one at a time. The final 2 get stronger because she starts revealing that there is a private version of the conversation at all. 7. She warns you not to ask what she was thinking. She loses the thread for a second. You say, "Where did you go?" She answers, "You do not want to know." Then she tries to continue as if that sentence did not just place a locked door in the middle of the room. Maybe it is playful exaggeration, but notice what the line accomplishes. She protects the content while making sure you know content exists. The context clue is whether she could have said nothing and ended it. Instead, she gives you a denial shaped like an invitation. Her hidden motive is divided. One part wants privacy, another wants you to wonder what earned the privacy. She closed the door and left the light on underneath it. 8. She finally names the tension without naming the thought. The conversation goes quiet after one line lands differently than either of you expected. She exhales and says, "We should probably stop making everything sound like that." Listen to the pronoun, we. She is not accusing you of making the exchange sexual. She is admitting that she has been participating in the second conversation, the one underneath the ordinary words. The innocent interpretation is that she wants the jokes to stop. Again, take the boundary seriously, but if she says it softly, remains engaged, and later returns to the same kind of ambiguity, the hidden motive is not escape. It is recognition with plausible deniability. She has reached the point where acting completely normal requires both of you to pretend you have not noticed what keeps happening. That is the emotional resolution. The strongest sign is not a provocative line. It is the moment she admits there has been something to manage. Dirty thoughts do not always make a woman bolder. Often they make her more careful, more literal, and briefly more formal. Look for the change in timing, the delayed answer, the unnecessary correction, the phrase she resurrects, or the denial that appears before an invitation ever existed. One sign can be humor. A repeated pattern means the innocent conversation may not be the only conversation she is having.